Then for the uncles, that uncle's always wearing a hat, always wearing a cap. You dare pull that hat off his head, you are dead. Because uncle will hold on to the hat for dear life.
Some men will try to hold on to the little hair they have. And look, it's all like, no. I don't care. They can see the bald spot in the middle, but they're like.
Don't accept yourself first. Don't expect other people out there to accept yourself.
Yes.
Accept you.
I agree.
People will give you what you give them.
And making different decisions with your life that's gonna help you grow. That's gonna help you nurture. That's gonna cultivate your well-being or cultivate a better mindset.
Alopecia chooses us. We don't choose it. Let's chill. Hello, bonjour, hola, sani bonani, namaste.
Yes, what's poppin'?
So September is Alopecia Awareness Month.
Yes.
Where I'm able to wear my bald head without shame, actually it hasn't been for a while that I would wear it with shame, but this month I wear it more even prouder because I'm given the opportunity to educate as many people as I can. I actually run a 30-day intentional awareness campaign on my social media where I'm just teaching people and creating awareness about alopecia, asking questions, engaging my audiences and stuff. So do check it out.
And I also joined the movement with that one.
And he also joins the movement, yes. And because we do need supportive spouses, family, friends who will join in the movement to show that they are in solidarity with us. Because by the way, alopecia chooses us, we don't choose it. Anybody who has alopecia would tell you if they could get their hair back, even if they have accepted what they're going through, they would ask it to come back within like that. So it's not something that because now we've accepted this new norm that now, it's okay. Given a choice, do you want your hair back? I would say, hell yeah, bring it on. But chances are I might not get my hair back. Might being, highlighted, bolded, you name it, because I still have hope that one day my hair will come back. There's no woman out there who says, I love being bold. No, because people who are able to grow their hair back and choose to cut their hair, they know that if they let it grow, they can still have it. In our case, when it's a case where I've completely lost all my hair, probably now I'm at 90% because I still grow hair at the back. Yeah, I know. Why at the back? And so part of also I'll say 90%. So having not have hair and having a shiny head, shiny
skull,
a scalp here,
scalp.
kind of makes you think that I'm kind of accepted, because I still get the stares, although they don't poke at me as much because I don't pay much attention to them, but I still see people pointing at me, staring at me, whispering remarks, or even some loud remarks. I would hear them, who choose to just shave their hair bald? Because people make assumptions. And I hope that today's episode will be a catalyst, if I may say, to your questions as well, and to even embracing and understanding when you see people with a bald head, especially women, and children, and even men, to be honest, because there are men out there who do not want to be bald, and that's why you find men who are balding, wearing hats and caps, and they try by all means to hide it. There's even wigs for men now to just cover that bald crown.
Toupee.
The toupee they call them, yeah. And do you think they want to wear it? Absolutely not. But because they feel ashamed and embarrassed, that's how it ends up. So today we're gonna be just talking about this, and I won't say incredible, but this topic that affects millions of people around the world. And most people that we know or come across cover up and we might not see that they have it. You know, and I remember I posed a question on social media a couple of days ago asking people, when did you know about alopecia? When was the first time you heard about this thing? Because for me, I heard about alopecia when I got it. That's why when the doctor gave me my diagnosis, I was like, "Aloe, what? What you talking about, doctor? I had never heard of this word." And funny enough, I was working in the health department. I was working in health, but I had never come across this word. I had never heard of this word. So yeah.
Yeah. So when was the last time? So could we like to ask the audience, when was the last time you heard of the word alopecia?
I wouldn't say last time. When did you ever hear?
When did you hear about it, or do you know anybody that have alopecia? And type in yes, a Y for yes, and for no. If you know someone that have alopecia, as well as what when you found out about alopecia, because alopecia is pretty new.
No.
I mean, it's not new, but I'm talking about it's in media.
No.
I'm talking about the people that know about it. Now it's more and more
out there.
Yeah. That's what I mean is new. Because nobody, it's been around for a long time.
Most people have always had alopecia. But, and I think a lot of people will relate to what I'm about to say, is that every family has that aunt who always wear wigs. You've never seen auntie's scalp ever. You don't even know what auntie's hair look like, because she doesn't have any hair.
Most likely.
Not most likely, she just... I'm not supposed to be laughing because I'm that auntie, I guess, who just doesn't not have any hair, right? There's somebody out there who has an uncle who is always wearing, so the auntie is always wearing a wig, okay, or always wearing a scarf or a hat or anything to cover her head because she just does not want her head to show. I mean, in my culture, I looked at it and thought, maybe they're being respectful because in the Zulu culture, married women, especially older married women, they like to cover their
head. So that was an excuse kind
of.
of.
So for me, I thought, no, they're just covering their head because, only to find out that some of them, no, they were covering because they were hiding something underneath.
Yes.
Sadly enough. And for the uncles, that uncle's always wearing a hat, always wearing a cap. You dare pull that hat off his head, you are dead. Because uncle will hold on to the hat for dear life. Because he was embarrassed. He doesn't want people to see that bald patch. Do you have in your family, before you met me, do you just think back in your family, both father side and mother side?
I think even like for men where...
But you didn't even hear my question.
Okay.
Do you have both mother side and father side, anybody in your family that were part of the categories that I just listed, that auntie who just never showed her scalp?
I would say, not that I know of, but I know, like, in our culture, I know once we get to a certain age, right, when we start receiving hairlines and our hair you start seeing the ball, then a lot of times, we tell the mom cut it all off. So that's the thing. We just
automatically. So in your family, there's no auntie that wore wigs that you've never seen.
They wear wigs, but I don't know why they wear it.
And you've never seen their hair.
I think I've seen their hair. No, you know what? I never seen their hair because when they go to church, they wear a wig. So that's the only time I really seen them was in church. Okay. But I think when I went to their house, I was able to see their hair. They ain't had no wig on if I went to their house, unless well, maybe because they were dressed already. So when they got dressed, they put on their wig.
Because of course they're gonna hide it. They're not gonna flaunt it the hands. That's why they wear wigs even when they go in public. So even when you come to their home, they will probably be wearing a hat or a scarf. But as a child, you don't pay attention to that.
Yeah. So I would say, Yeah, but like for men though, once you get to that, like you start seeing bald spots coming in, then we're like, most of the time they cut it off because they know they're going bald, or and they just tell the barber to cut it off. Some men would try to hold on to the little hair they have as long as I'm like, no, I don't care. They can see the bald spot in the middle, but they're like,
because that just shows you what alopecia does to you.
They still hold on. Yeah, they hold on to their hair longest. But like, no. I know the bald spot. I'm keeping my hair. The little hair, the hair I do have around the edges, I'm keeping it. Or even like you got bald spots like right here, like me. I like right here. Some people just cut it off.
Yeah, but you were born like that, so.
Kinda.
Yeah. If some people are.
No, I wasn't born like that.
Oh, it's just recedes.
Yeah, I think I caused it because I was putting my hair when I was younger. So
let's go back to basics and talk about, because in this episode we really want to try and speak about the challenges that people feel, or rather, let me not say the challenges, the emotions that people feel when they first find out that they having hair loss, because most of this hair loss is detected by either your hairdresser, a friend, or family. It's very rare that you find it yourself. Somebody will point it out to you, because it would be in some hidden area. Like, I remember mine. I started losing hair on the sides of my head and up here. I wasn't sure. I'm not even sure when was my first bald patch. I'm sure because I have it written down. But right now I don't really remember on top of my head. But I know when you have alopecia, it starts on the sides. I know I've always had a receding hairline because I used to do all sorts of hairstyles. But when I realized that, my hair is moving backwards, I stopped doing anything that was pulling my hair. I stopped relaxing my hair. Anything that was I felt was harsh to my hair, I stopped it. This is 2 years in before my hair started falling off. So I was doing safe hairstyles in 2 years, but my hair still went because I guess the damage
already done. Yeah.
So today we're probably going to cover as well who gets alopecia, why they get it, and so forth. So tune in. And before we continue, we just want to remind you that if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so.
Yes, please subscribe.
Yeah, help us to get to that 2,000 mark. We would really love to be at least by 2,000 by the time we reach our 2-year anniversary.
Yes, that's coming up.
Why has it taken so long? It's coming up very soon.
Yes, it's coming up.
So we'd love your support. So how do you do that? By sharing, by liking, by commenting. Don't just watch the video, guys. Like it and comment and share. It does help us with the algorithmic.
If you agree with something, comment on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and to grow the channel. So we've covered that part. Now let's get into it.
What is alopecia?
So, in layman's term, alopecia is when you're. I won't try and be scientific. Okay, I'll just say it so that even a child who listens to the video understands. Is when your immune system or your soldiers, your immune soldiers, they attack your hair follicles. So what is hair follicles? Where your hair sprouts out. Because every hair strand has a root. So it attacks that root. Why? Very good question. Why would the immune system or your body soldiers that protect your body from infection and disease go for your hair? Very good question.
Very good question. If you know, please
so
let us know.
I'm glad you asked the question. So the reason is the immune system kind of thinks that your hair follicle is danger to your body. So they see danger, just like any other infection that your body gets. Your immune system fights against it, right? So that's why we take immune boosters so that you always keep our immune system strong. So that infection or disease come, you have strong soldiers who would fight, for you, so that you become better again.
Yes.
So same situation with autoimmune conditions, which means conditions that are affected by the immune system. That's why they're called autoimmune conditions. So these autoimmune conditions, I could name a whole list. On top of my mind, I'm thinking of vitiligo. You know, when somebody loses their skin pigmentation, you know, like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had vitiligo. That's why he ended up just dyeing himself all the same color. You know, I'm sorry to say that, Michael, but that's what he did.
Rest in peace.
And another one that's really, really a bad one is lupus.
Lupus, yes, lupus. MS.
You know, okay, I'll just say those three for now, and then of course alopecia. And so alopecia is not painful because we just lose our hair. And there are different stages to it, of course. We have alopecia where it's called areata, where you just have bald patches. Some men, you find the patches on even their beards and of course their scalp. Some people, even you find patches on their eyebrow. So, excuse me, so it's just patches here and there. That's areata. And then when you have something called totalis. So that's areata, and then totalis. So alopecia totalis is when you lose only your scalp, your entire scalp, the hair goes. So I, of course, have a totalis, but
not yet.
Yeah, like
10%.
What does 10% do?
We're not claiming totalis though.
Anyways, but I'm partially also universalis. Which means I have, actually I'm just totalis, but I do lose eyebrows, okay, because universalis is when you lose all your hair.
Pubic hairs and all.
Everything that's hair in your body. And sadly, those are the people that people make most fun of, because, you know, when you don't have hair, there's certain parts of your body that are not defined. And hence that is why people with alopecia, you find us going for microblading, you know, and that's what I did with my eyebrows, because I have very few natural eyebrows, so I can't draw to save my life. So I just did the microblading or micro shading to keep my brows in shape. So in summary, your question was, what is alopecia? It's an autoimmune condition that causes our hair follicles to die, basically, and hair is unable to grow out of your hair follicles. Is it painful? Not at all. Are you sick? No, but it does affect you mentally.
So now, what's prevention measures you can take?
There's a lot of triggers, that we call them triggers because we don't want to say causes, because even right now scientists are still trying to figure out what really causes autoimmune conditions, in this case alopecia, because like I said, some people are born with it, some people get it at a young age, some people get it in their teens, some people get it in their 20s, in their 30s, 40s, you name it, 50s, 60s, you know. And so the point is, anybody can get it at any age, at any time. There is no scientific data that proves the exact reason why somebody has alopecia. That's why there's no cure, because if they knew the reason, they would have a cure, right? So when we make a comparison with an autoimmune deficiency disease like HIV and AIDS, because that is acquired, right? Alopecia is not acquired. You don't go out there and decide, oh, I want to get alopecia. I know even with HIV and AIDS, besides, I'm trying not to be insensitive, people don't just go out there and say, hey, I want to have HIV and AIDS. But my point is, somebody either gives it to you or you get infected in some way. With alopecia, you don't get infected. You know, for people who are born with it, yes, sometimes they get it from, it's passed on from their parents, but sometimes not. You find that a parent can give birth to a child who has alopecia and they've never had alopecia. You know, you might be even the first person in your generation or in your family to have alopecia. So we're still praying that there's a cure that comes up in our lifetime, because the ones that are here, they neither here or there. They're not guaranteed. Some people it works for them, and some people it doesn't work for them. And the side effects, my God, they are just terrible. And some of us choose not to even go through that route in trying to get the treatments going, because the side effects are just crazy. And I, for example, I tried, well, let me just say almost, because there are certain remedies that I was like, I'm not going there. But I tried almost everything to get my hair back, and it didn't come back.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Yes. Okay. So now we got
you got it down pat.
We got it down pat. What is alopecia? What is the causes? What kind of alopecia is out there? We know it's 3 alopecia. Major ones.
There's actually more.
There's more.
Even
but they're the major ones.
People who are losing their hairline, there's a name for that. There's a name for many of them. People who are just having thinning hair, that's another form of alopecia.
And we know it's an autoimmune disease, and we understand that there's, so, a lot of time people that have these different autoimmunes. You probably have someone in your family that, that have lupus and have alopecia, MS. These are serious conditions that, like, people don't want. You think people want to have lupus? You think people want to have MS or alopecia? These are serious conditions. And with autoimmune disease, right? I believe, and my wife could confirm, you can have alopecia and get lupus because it's in the same family. It's
in the same family, and it likes to invite, because we call the other autoimmune conditions, because there's thousands of them, by the way. We call them cousins. So they like to invite their cousins over. Hey, it's fun over here. Come here. So that's why we always say people who, if you've noted that you have an autoimmune condition, try and live a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Avoid certain things, do certain things that will help you get your immune system stronger.
Yes.
Because if it's weak, then
it's hard to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And these cousins will come in and make
friends, make a home. Yeah, make a home. So so we understand now what is alopecia. If you were struggling and you didn't know what, because you probably like, what is alopecia? Or you might have to look in the dictionary when you found out what alopecia. Let us know in the comment. Type in why or no. Then you have to go to the dictionary to look up alopecia. I
had no clue what it was.
Then you have to go to the dictionary to look up alopecia. So now we want to just talk about mental health and alopecia. Because mental health is serious, and everyone deals with mental health. And we have different challenges, and we go through different things in life. And not people just with alopecia. You got normal people that don't have a condition or don't have.
We're normal too.
I know. I'm just saying. You got people.
Just putting it out there. We're very normal.
I know. I'm talking about. Well, let me say people that don't have sickness.
We're not sick either.
I know.
It doesn't take us to hospital.
I'm saying people.
Conditions.
Yes, conditions. People don't have.
The reason why I'm correcting is because that it's the whole point of this episode as well. People, first of all, make assumptions and they say things that are not correct. So it is my responsibility as a person who advocates for alopecia and creates awareness to correct people when they say things, because I do not have a disease.
Yes, we're not saying disease, but I was speaking of people that have a disease.
Can you please understand what I'm saying? We are talking about alopecia awareness today.
Okay.
And you said people who have a disease. So every time you make an assumption that people out there usually make about us, I will correct you so that people know the right words to use, because it is not a disease, it is a condition.
Yes. But I was referring about, other diseases. I was talking about diseases that people do have, disease like HIV, like cancer, those diseases. So when I was talking about diseases, I was talking about the diseases that people have. But when I was talking about the point was, there are people that don't have different conditions or diseases, what I should have said. different conditions or diseases that still struggle with their mental health.
Yeah.
And because mental health is a disease. It is a condition that people face. So even though
it's a condition, not a
disease. It's a condition. So mental health is a condition. So even though you feel like, I don't have this, or I don't have the big name, but it's if you're dealing with mental health, it's still a condition. You or someone face challenges related to mental health.
I personally have. When I was first diagnosed with alopecia, I became depressed. I was very depressed, clinically depressed. I remember I got even admitted to hospital because I just could not handle the thought of just seeing my hair go day by day. And it was a very bad time in my life where I was just lost. I was not understanding what was happening. I thought I was being bewitched. I just thought so much was happening.
Witchcraft.
Bewitched. So it affected me mentally. It affected my self-esteem. It affected my emotional being. It affected me spiritually because I started blaming God. Why are you doing this to me? Why me? Because I had not seen anybody who was going through what I was going through. For me, it was my first. And I think for my family members too. It really affected me mentally. And yes, being a part of alopecia communities, it's and being also an admin to alopecia community that I run on Facebook, Global Alopecia Movement. I find that that's the occurring trend where people feel that they feel a lot. It's affecting them mentally, and as a result, if it affects you mentally, then it's gonna affect your self-esteem. It's going to affect your confidence and all that.
Yeah. So share your experience if you know anyone or you may have dealt with mental health issues or mental condition, because I can say this, and I'm learning this even now. I even experienced mental health because growing up, I felt embarrassed, or I feel like people gonna judge me. That's kind of, and so what happened is, because of these feelings I was going through of feeling embarrassed, feel like I'm gonna be judged, feeling alone and no one to talk to.
What was there particular reasons why you felt the way you did?
We always talk about, because of all the things that I went through. I was the shortest person. I looked young. I feel like, I wasn't like everybody else, because of how, the way I was, especially when I was 13, because when you're a child, you don't know the difference. But when people started, passing me and growing, I wasn't growing, and when I wasn't getting hair on my face, and I seen, and another thing is, when,
because your puberty started in your 20s.
Yes, it started late. I'm a late bloomer. So, but all this kind of stuff, and because of these things, because when every young boy, you want to talk to girls, and they wasn't interest you because they were looking at the one that was tall, and they feel like, they can do this and they can do this, and it affects us. It affects anybody. So I understand, even though because there's a lot more individuals that go through it, and they want to just. And they don't want to be here no more. Because many days I used to cry in my room, in my bed. I used to ask, Lord, why was I born? Why you made me? Why you created me like this? I used to ask that. I'd rather not be here. I used to tell myself some strange things. I would like to go before my mom, because that's how much I loved my mom. I'm like, Lord,
So
Yeah, so but these some of the things that I was experiencing, and now I'm realizing that was mental health, but I didn't know it at the time. But that was mental health because I had these challenges and I had these things that I had to overcome, and every now and then I still face these things. I still feel isolated. If I feel like if I'm going to be embarrassed or you're going to judge me because maybe I said something wrong, or maybe I didn't say the right words because my speech impediment or certain words don't come out like clear. Sometimes when I speak, some of my words don't come out clear because certain words is just hard for me to say. And so if I feel like you're gonna judge me because I didn't know how to pronounce that word clear enough because of, I guess, my tongue ties or whatever, I shy away and I just stay to myself. And now I go through every now and then, but I am getting better and better of express myself and reaching out. So
back to alopecia and how it affects people mentally. Many people would feel, some embarrassment because they like, what is happening? I want to have hair. I want to have, I want to be able to do hairstyles like they do and so forth, which usually leads to depression. So I would encourage anyone and everyone to just attend to those emotions. Don't, if you see a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, somebody at your school, college, whatever, reach out, be that person that's going to be a support structure to that person. Because sometimes you feel these emotions when you're going through this as a person and you just don't know who to turn to because you feel like people are going to judge and laugh at you and make fun of you. So, but when you know that there are people out there who are looking out for you, then it's easier to get better and to work on yourself.
Yes, I agree because your subconscious do play on you. So and so you do feel embarrassed. I know for me, I felt embarrassed for a long time.
And you didn't even have alopecia.
And I didn't even have alopecia or any other condition. But the condition was mental health because I did feel embarrassed. I felt like I didn't belong to no one or nowhere. I feel like, who would want me because I was rejected for so long. So, how many females rejected me? Oh my God.
Well, I didn't. We're talking about alopecia. So
but I'm just saying, but we're talking about mental health because, things mental health.
Related to alopecia?
Yes. But mental health related to any sickness, conditions, because a lot of people deal with mental health.
And this is the thing, like,
but even though
this episode is mainly about alopecia. Yes, mental health comes in. And you are kind of trying to not, validate alopecia, a mental health caused by alopecia. And this is what society does to us.
No,
they will tell you that, but it's just hair. They will tell you that, oh, you'll get over it. They will tell you, oh, other people have it worse. At least you're not dying. They will give you reasons of why you should not have a pity party on yourself, on reason why you shouldn't feel sorry for yourself, on reason why why you're going through a mental health challenge. It's just hair. Come on, Siza. Like, you just like to exaggerate things. So, and I feel like this is what's happening even in this episode. We're talking about alopecia because it's Alopecia Awareness Month. I'm not saying don't express your experiences, but I really would like us to focus on alopecia.
Okay.
We will talk mental health at another stage.
Okay.
Let's not take it away from my brothers and sisters and kids who are struggling with this condition.
Yeah, but we talk about mental health and alopecia. That was the thing. It was mental health and alopecia. So that's the point and so, because not only mental health or people with alopecia feel embarrassed, but anyone that had mental health challenges feel embarrassed, you know, and so we validating everyone, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of condition you might have. If you're dealing with mental health challenges, we want to let you know, encourage you that that's the feeling that you're gonna feel, and it's okay, and nobody can judge you, you know, and you are loved, you are beautiful, regardless if regardless what you're going through, you know, you are beautiful. You know, if you got no hair, you're still beautiful. And it's very important when you're dealing with alopecia, because this is Alopecia Awareness Month. Yes, Alopecia Awareness, and we want to salute to everyone.
All the warriors out there.
Yeah, all the warriors out there. You know, so we want to talk about, you know, what you can do and what you can practice for people that's dealing with alopecia or mental health. Is you got to consistently practice self-compassion. You got to love yourself. You gotta first see the value in yourself. That's very important. Begin to value yourself. Like, I'm valuable. I'm worthy. I'm loved. It first starts with you.
Yeah.
Before it spread abroad. You know, the Bible even say charity starts at home, and then you spread it abroad. So it starts with you first before it spread out.
And you know, one thing that I realized when I first announced publicly that I have alopecia, I remember I put out a picture of myself, old, very, very filtered picture. But, you know, I was bald, and I said, this is me. And the amount of love that I received, you know, from my Facebook friends and family, it was just overwhelming. Putting out that picture took so much out of me, because I was like, oh my God, how are they going to take this out? But I wanted it out so badly. I just wanted to be free, because I had been that aunt, you know, or friend that would cover their hair no matter what. When I was diagnosed and my hair was starting to really go, I used to wear scarves like nobody's business. In fact, at the job that I used to work in at a hospital, they just thought I just like looking like umakoti, like a Zulu, respectable Zulu bride, you know, because I just used to wear those hair scarves and I knew all the designs. Like, people didn't know that I was doing it because I was hiding something. If I wasn't wearing the scarves, I was wearing wigs, I would find something to hide. And I did this for a whole 7 years. 7 years. Somebody would knock at my door. I would not open the door without covering my hair with something. So there was like, I felt like I was in prison. You know, I didn't feel like I could be myself, because I would even hide from family and friends. That's how ashamed I was. I remember, because I used to stay by myself, I had all my windows, my mirrors covered up, because I just didn't want to see this person who was looking back at me in the mirror, because I could not identify with that person. So you can imagine all these emotions that were happening to me, and I'm trying to fight them by myself and not having anybody to cry out to and support, because I knew nobody out there who had alopecia. And so it was so important for me to write that first book that I wrote, and it's still available on Amazon if you want.
Yes,
Overcoming the Stigmas of Alopecia by
yes.
Siza Chaplins. It's very cheap now, so you can go get it. Try to get rid of them from Amazon, for Amazon. It was so important for me to get that book out, and that's why I think I made the mistake to tell the universe that I don't even care if I don't make money out of it, and I didn't really. But I wish I did not tell the universe that. Because the universe will give you what you tell it.
Yes.
But yeah, the point for me was just to get the message out, because I wanted a book like that when I was diagnosed. Somebody sharing that, oh, it's okay, how it started, how they got over it, how they finally came out in public. And I've got other books out as well. If you need other books about alopecia from me, do reach out on my inbox. Some of them are on Amazon, but they go to the person that's led the anthology, because they are anthologies. I have my own copies that you can get from me to support me. So we have one that we co-authored together just recently, that speaks about how, you know, it affects people who are dating and who are married. I have one where I was talking about changing from my story of lemons to lemonades. various anthologies that I've been participating in just to get the message out there, because a lot of people are still in hiding and a lot of people are still being diagnosed even today. And that's why in the support group that I have, I always speak about self-acceptance. Self-acceptance, self-acceptance, self-acceptance. Don't accept yourself first. Don't expect other people out there to accept yourself. Accept you.
I agree.
You know, people will give you what you give them. If you're ashamed, people will read your energy. They will read into, oh, she's ashamed. And you'll get people who make fun of you because they see that you're ashamed. You know, there's so many bullies out there. But if you are confident and you just don't give people will be like, there's no point in harassing her because she's okay. You know, there's this quote that says, you can't make fun of something that I've already accepted.
Yes.
You can't. Like, tell it to my hand. I don't care. I know I'm bald, so what? So what? You know, deal with it if it affects you that much.
Yes.
You know, because some people are affected by other people's conditions. And we with the conditions have accepted our dilemma, but you, who's an overlooker, wants to still put salt in my wound. You know, so I think as people feel self-compassion, like you said, and
accept themselves,
acceptance, and just empathy. Empathize with yourself first before you expect other people to empathize with you. That's how we're gonna counteract all these negative emotions and feelings, because like I said, nobody can make fun of you when you first of all make fun of yourself. You know, when you laugh at yourself. So what are you, you know, there's no point in you laughing at me. And secondly, when I've accepted myself, whatever you say won't really hit.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, and that's the mindfulness techniques that you can practice, you know, the thing that you've been saying, you know, and also genuine mindset, because mindset is powerful.
So much. I think, you know, if you get it here right first, then the rest will flow.
The rest will flow. So, you know, you got to begin to practice these mindset techniques that you've been talking about to begin to see love, you know, and because a lot of times the reason why you don't feel love or you don't see love or the negative things affect you because it affect you up here. So you got to begin to practice these mindset techniques that she's been talking about so that you can begin to see self-reflectors.
And I think that's how I've healed over the years.
Yes.
I have alopecia for what now?
11 years, 12 years?
12 years, I think. Yeah, about 12 years. And it wasn't easy, but...
You tell me your age.
I don't really care. But it gets easier. You know, the more you put yourself out there, the more... It just gets easier. I don't see a need of wearing a hat anymore unless I'm trying to cover up from the sun or when it's cold.
Try to warm yourself up.
You know, I wear a wig as an accessory now, not as a necessity. You know, and I'm just comfortable in my own skin. You cannot tell me anything about Big Bold because it is what it is, and this is who I am, and I cannot change it.
Yes. So, you know, that leads to, you know, empower yourself, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
You know, empowerment is about taking back control.
Yeah.
And we did a previous episode about that, you know, take back control of your life that you're going to be getting to see. But empowering yourself is about taking back control.
Yeah, it's telling alopecia or any condition that you have out there to say, hey, you don't have me, I have you.
I have you.
Listen, if I have you, it means I'm the one in control.
Yes.
I might not get my hair back, but I'm not going to allow you
to defeat me.
To define me.
Define me, yes. That's another good one. Yeah.
Or even defeat me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to fight. I'm going to be the best version of who I am right now. So empowering includes just getting more information. Like I said, that book for me was so important because I had not had something to refer to. You know, there was no reference for me to say, oh, okay, this person has alopecia because of 1, 2, 3. Nothing, zero. There was nothing in the market. And yes, now more and more books are coming out, and thank God, because now more and more girls or women or even men can relate.
I agree. So taking back control, making decisions, that support your well-being, and that's what it's about. Making good decisions, learning more about the situation.
Very important.
It's very
even
important.
if you're not the one who has alopecia, even the family friends that are viewing us as well, go out there, find out more information. I'm doing this 30-day campaign. Share some of my posts as a way of support. To show that you stand in solidarity with me. I'm not getting paid for them. If you worry about me making money out of it, no. But it's just to teach, because I know family and friends are really worried.
Yes.
They don't want you to win.
They don't want you to win.
I won't say all of them, but I'll say some of them.
Some of them, oh yeah. You got the family members.
Yeah, you see them by not even liking your post.
Yeah.
They will tell you, "Oh, I see your post." Oh, I've never seen even one like to show that you see my post. So sad, right? But put something negative out there, they'll be the first to comment. But something that's uplifting, something that's empowering, something that's gonna help me, you won't see, not even.
Yeah, that's sad. And we talking about buy back black and support the community.
It's sad.
It's sad. That crime mentality. That crime mentality is. Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Woo. But you gotta make decisions that's gonna support your well-being. That's very critical to take back control of your life, to empower yourself. You gotta begin to make these different decisions, and like she discussed earlier, these things that she spoke it out and said, you know what, you don't define me, I define you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And making different decisions with your life that's gonna help you grow, that's gonna help you nurture, that's gonna cultivate your well-being, or cultivate a better mindset. So this is why a lot of times too, when sometimes on your social media, you need to begin to delete the negative things. If you see nothing but garbage on your social media, sometimes you need to clean your social media and follow people that putting up positive messages. Because you gotta remember, your mind is what you focus on grows. And if you're only seeing negativity in your life, then guess what? That's all the universe is gonna show you. That's all you're gonna get back. But when you begin to focus on the positive things and begin to delete some negative that's on social media and begin to follow positivity, then you begin to see yourself grow. Then you begin to see yourself overcoming your challenges. Then you begin to see you winning in life and begin to develop strategies and techniques on how you can win. Like, if maybe you're struggling right now, you broke, you in debt, and you want to get out of debt, but you don't know how. But guess what? A lot of times, because you follow the wrong things, how can you develop any strategies? I say this all the time. I'm gonna say it again. The more you know, the more you learn, or the more you grow. So it's very important. The more you know, the more you learn. No teaching, no revelation. How can they expect to get revelation if you're filling up your feeds with garbage?
Back to alopecia. So
we talking about empowering yourself. We talking about empowering yourself.
How do you do
and how
that?
can people empower themselves?
Listening to this podcast,
yes.
Sharing it with as many people as possible, checking us out on our socials as well, because like we said, we are running this campaign. So you can follow me at Lady Siza One on Instagram. I'm putting up posts there daily, as well as on my Facebook, Siza again, Julie Chaplin, and on Threads as well. And you can follow?
Yes, you can follow me at Get Inspired by LJ on Instagram and Threads. And yes, and so I'm here to help you. I bring motivation. I have different contents. Right now, I'm doing this challenge every morning. It's like affirmations. Every morning I put up and I got themes. So each day there's a theme, and we talk about. So it's to help you build your confidence and take momentum, and how you can take control, take your life back. So You can follow me, Get Inspired by LJ. And so another thing, how you can empower yourself is by setting clear goals. And we know what is goals. What are goals? Type in the chat. What is goals? What is goals? What are goals? Thank you, sweetheart. What are goals? Come on, type in the chat. What are goals? If you know what it is, type yes. Hit Y for yes, and for no, and then type.
What are goals?
Goals, smart.
You mean like
smart goals? Yes, we refer to goals as smart goals. Specific, measurable. Should I say all of it? I'll let the chat say. Come on, you type in the chat. What is smart goals? And so but setting clear goals, developing a positive mindset, and implementing healthy habits. It's very critical to begin to empower yourself. And so now we want to begin to start creating a support system. It's critical.
So that's like so important to have people who just support you overall. It helps even with your mental being, because now you always have somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you trust, somebody that you can rely on. Because sometimes you're just having an emotional day, and you just need somebody to offload on.
Yes.
So if you cannot get yourself a professional counselor or therapist, get yourself a good friend who you can trust. Go to your pastor. Go to
mentor,
find a coach. Find somebody that you will trust, that you can always offload to, who will listen to you without judgment.
Yes.
Get into online communities. And we're going to say this podcast was sponsored by
Next Opportunity Window. It's a vibrant community. It's here to support you in your journey. We're here to celebrate you. We're here to help you grow, to learn, to grow. Why? Because we know your pain. We know the importance of a community. Because we was in those shoes, wishing that we had a community when we didn't have it. So we understand why the importance of a community, and knowing that we wish when we were struggling, we have more of that community or more support. And so, we say join the community. It's there to help you out. It's there to help build you up. We tell them messages and lessons to help you grow, to help you win, to help you overcome whatever challenge you may be facing. And so we say join the community, be a part of it, because the problem is for some people, and we know why a lot of times the problem about that, because with people, we talk about creating a support system. It's when we join things that don't relate with us. We join communities. We seek advice. We go to a friend, but they don't relate with us. And then when they don't feel our pain, or they're not empathetic towards us, then we want to get upset. Then we want to blame them. Then we want to leave the church. Then we want to oh man, that they don't get me. It's because you went to somewhere that don't relate with you. Because a lot of times we see the money, like, oh man, but a lot of times because they don't relate with you, how can they help you?
Right.
And so a lot of times we got to stop chasing the money and begin to chase impact and how they're going to support me. Because like even with the 6-month mentorship boot camp, this is why I take people by the hands, and you're welcome to join the 6-month mentorship boot camp if you're an aspiring entrepreneur. Is when I was starting a business, just don't give me a course. I'm hands on. I learn by doing, and just by I want people, just by I wanted somebody to take me by the hand and show me step by step. And this is what we do. This is why we implement certain things inside the community and the boot camp, so they take you by your hand. So because we feel your pain, and we tell it to people that relate to us. And the problem is when we go to people or we join things that don't relate to us, and then we want to get upset.
Yes,
and we want to leave it. And we want to leave the church.
So back to creating a supportive system or community. I do, like I said, run a support group. You can be anywhere in the world. It's called Global Alopecia Movement. You can join in. There's questions that we ask you before we accept your membership, and it's for free. That's where you'll meet other women who are struggling as well, just like you are, or have lost their hair, who are in the journey. It could be the first stages, middle stages, last stages, whatever, who are going through it. And you're not forced to participate in terms of showing your pictures and everything. We'd love that, for you to share your stories with other women, because that's how other people get encouraged.
Yes.
But some people just come in and just ghost in just to view and see what other people are saying. That's okay too, although we'd really like it to be a more interactive group, where more people are sharing what they're going through, sharing their first shave, etc. But it's another means of support. So get yourself into a support group. It can be with people physically, or it can
online.
be online.
Yes, yeah, online.
Just as effective.
Yeah, it's just as effective. On whatever gonna help you overcome, and like share your emotions
without judgment.
Because when you join things that you relate with, you feel comfortable to express yourself.
Yeah.
And
to be with people who have walked the same
journey
or are walking that journey.
Yeah.
It's more comfortable.
It's more comfortable, and then eventually you, like, when you wasn't laying your head down, now you begin to lay your head down, or have the courage to speak, or whatever it may be, or have the courage to take action.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what, I can do this, because you see other people that just like you experience it. And this is what it's support system is very important, because I know growing up, I wish I had the only support I had was my mother. That's the only support I had, and I'm grateful for that, because that's the only thing that kept me going. Just every now and then, just hear my mother say, you know what, you could do it. You could do whatever God put in your heart to do. You could do whatever you put your mind to do. Just don't let it work, because that's the only time I heard it. I didn't hear it from nobody else. I didn't hear it from people say, all I seen being picked last. That's all I was seeing, being picked last. So it was tough. It was tough. And so that support system, is vital. It's essential for your growth. And so, now we want to...
So as we round off, we're speaking about spreading awareness. How can you participate? What can you do this month to help spread the word, to help, more people create the awareness, basically. So participate in our campaigns. Put something out there, comment in some of our campaigns,
post on social media,
whatever that. Be empathetic.
Yes, be empathetic.
We don't have cancer. We feel very empathetic towards those people who have cancer, because that is a disease that can be fatal. But when you see somebody with a bald head, it does not necessarily mean that they're going through chemo, because we've been mistaken for people with cancer a lot of times. And not because we're saying cancer does not matter. It matters so much, because it takes people's lives, but so does alopecia. It matters so much because other people have killed themselves. We've got a lot of people who have died, and we say to those people, children, may your souls rest in peace. People who've gone through depression because of alopecia. So be empathetic. You don't know what somebody's going through.
You don't know what they're going through.
Don't make fun of people when you don't even know the backstory. Even when you do know the backstory, there's no need to make fun of other people to make yourself feel good.
Yes, and also support other organizations that's, maybe like that doing research. That's studying, to bring healing to it. So
to find
a cure, because like I said, they still doing this is still new to a lot of scientists. So they still doing support. That's how they was able to find different cures for cancer and different diseases out there, because people donated
and like
to these causes.
Alopecia has no cure yet.
Yes,
we've got medication that's supposedly to help. Some do, some don't.
But the side effects is high. It's
severe. Very high. Yeah. So we're still looking for a cure, and we need your help to find it by just donating to like LJ said, to different organizations that help with
research. That help with alopecia research and looking for a cure. So definitely, this is how you can do it. You know, by supporting, posting, joining in the campaigns,
and being empathetic.
That's important. That's empathy goes a long way.
In meaning, put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yes.
And just imagine yourself without it. I remember one of my sisters said to me, she has beautiful hair. She's always had, and I've always envied her. It's actually not even funny. She said to me, Siza, I don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it. If it were me, I don't think I'll be able to survive. So you're very strong to actually be able to live with a bald head when I know that you've had beautiful hair before. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not for everyone. Not anyone can rock a bald head.
Yes.
Not anyone can be bald. And those people who boldly go out there and rock it, be their comfort, be their support system, be their cheerleaders, because they need you. Thank you.
Yes. So definitely, we say spread the awareness, be in the other person's shoes, show that empathy. And so we thank you for tuning in. It was a lengthy episode, but I think this is probably one of our longest. So we thank you for tuning in. But necessary.
Thank you.
It's
See
very
you in the next
important.
video.
And if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video we have for you. Take care,
Bye-bye.
and we'll see you in the next video.